Greetings, Kitchen Sink family members. How are you? How are we? I'm trying to walk about, in my space where I am right now, as we discuss things that I really inspired me this week. I was inspired by a family that are very strong Kitchen Sink family members. They are part of our premier gang, and they took one of our lesson that we discussed, and they've really implemented and are going far with it. And this is to do with when you are investing with small money. Remember, at some point we were discussing it, and I was recommending to us that sometimes if big cities are a prohibition for you to invest, consider rural area, consider growth points. Growth points are micro towns where people land in those spaces is very cheap, is reasonably priced, and lifestyle is generally manageable, and yet the quality of life in terms of stress-free life, in terms of affordability, and community living, it's way ahead sometimes of living in a big town. So I just want to emphasize this point with this video, that you making little money grow is possible. It is possible with how you choose to invest and where you choose to invest. Those two are very, very important. And also there are other facets to this discussion, on this video, where I realized that what, behavior of money in well-regulated economies is very different from when you want to invest in a volatile economy, for example. So in reference to issues of big city investments, small city, towns, growth point, rural area type of investment, I could compare this, use this to read what happens in well-regulated economies and what's happening in our own sort of economy. We are a third world economy. We are an economy with a very high unemployment, over 80% unemployment, meaning how are we surviving? Somebody from the West, somebody from a well-regulated economy could ask. Our economy is carried by the informal sector, and the informal sector knows no boundaries where people are investing and how they are investing and the sort of work that people are doing. And all I'm saying to us today in this video, I just want to highlight and emphasize these points, that guys, money behaves differently in different economies. When you want to discuss issues of investment in other economies, you have to begin with how they invest from the day they start going to work, or even part-time work. They invest in monetary instruments that grow with time and that are very consistent, with a guarantee that when at the time you want to withdraw from those investments, your money is safe and your money will be there. It may not be the same everywhere, as we know now, that in our economy, that's not how it has been for us. But how have we survived is what I want to know. It took us too long to realize that money behaves differently in different circumstances, and it will still yield to you, and legitimately so. I'm not talking about illegitimate ways of making money. No, I'm talking of legitimate ways of making money, and it doesn't really matter whether it's with much or with little. In essence, whichever way you are investing, whichever way you are accessing money, money will grow and benefit you. Very, very important to me. So what I am saying is, because of our large informal sector, how are we seeing, how are people doing it? They do it small. And every time we have to think of changing our ways of investment so that it suits our economy, it suits where we are. And one of the fundamental ways of achieving what others achieve easily, in well-regulated economies, is to do so little by little. Build your wealth little by little. That's number one. Don't look at the size of your pocket. Look at your dream. What do you want to achieve in life? And little by little, you can achieve it. So no one can say, it's because I didn't have money. No. I have seen, I know, and I've told you before, people who start small and they're investing small but are achieving much more. And so we can do it. So number one, to build your wealth, do so little by little. Very important. Number two, of investing in a volatile economy, understand, ways and where sometimes investments are more safer than others. And in our environment, real estate is safer. It has proven itself to be much safer than any other way of investment. And as we do that, we're investing little by little. Invest in real estate, and real estate to include housing, land, as in a small plot where you can grow something, you can, do some type of farming on that property. They grow. This is things that when you are doing it, no one is watching. No one is ululating with what you are doing. In fact, it can be very frustrating because others could be doing other things with their money, those that have big money. But as you do yours little by little, before you know it, it will grow and it will be much more. Let me go back up as I'm talking to you. So it becomes very important, dearly beloved, for you to know what you can afford and what you cannot afford. That's number two. Build it little by little. Also know what you can afford and also know what you cannot afford. Because when you know what you can afford, it will guide you into where to invest and how to invest. This is very important. Many people, in my category, we wasted time, we wasted money, not a lot of money. The little that we had, we didn't think of investing little by little. We didn't think of investing in those, where land is cheaper. We didn't think of it. But truth be told, it's very important for you to know what you can achieve with what you have. Today, someone who's getting a rental of $200, they're surviving from it because you can't pick it on the streets. You survive from it. And when you are building for investment, don't build huge, houses where you invest, all whatever income that you have. No, start little by little. And even your plan, the plan of the house that you're going to build for rental, it can't match how rentals look like in the West or in other economies. It has to be ours. In our economic environment, one room, rental is more profitable than to try and rent a 4-bedroomed house, a multi-story building. One room approach is very important. And sometimes you can have people come up with a plan that will allow you to build it section by section. You don't even have to put all your rooms, to put up rather all your rooms at the same time. You can begin little by little, and you will be amazed at how people who are doing such menial jobs, how they are surviving. It's because they discovered that, if I go, home and I build, my rooms, people can rent. And when they rent from you, you're beginning to get an income. You're anchoring your little income that's coming to you. A lot of these people, they do skilled work. They are carpenters, they are welders, they are, they work in construction at the low end, type of instruction workers. In whatever they do, usually it's the low end type of work. But when they begin to invest, I was amazed. I'm inspired. I'm telling you the truth. I'm inspired to keep going, in investment. I just need to change how to invest. I just need to change where I invest. So I just woke up with this thing this morning to say, wherever you are, it's morning where I am, could be afternoon, could be evening to where you are. But think again to where you're going to invest, how you're going to invest. Because at the end of it all, you are having a long-term plan with your income, whether little or much, and you want to safeguard its survival and to make it yield to you. So that's very important. There are other things that are very difficult for us in our environment to keep cash on us, because we don't use banking systems as much as other economies would do, because then they are able to bank, their money to survive on. They will tell you must have an equivalent to your monthly spending money to cover you 3 months, to cover you 6 months. It might be difficult for us to do in our setting, but whichever way you keep your money, do so knowing that you want for that money to take you far. Let me tell you, your lifestyle will change, your family's quality of life will improve if you invest little by little. And it does not matter, this is why I did this video, it does not matter where you invest, even in the rural area, even at a growth point. Hey, my kitchen sink family members, it doesn't matter where you do it. Just do it at the level that you can afford. Just do it at the level that you know whatever income that you have will sustain it. You don't want to invest in an area where as soon as you are done with that investment, when it starts, growing old, you can't even afford to repair things. Do it at a level that you are comfortable with, and your life will never be the same. The life of your children will never be the same. The life of your children's children will never be the same. So what am I saying today, dearly beloved? Let's begin to invest. Money behaves differently in different economies. Do not copy how they invest in the success in Europe, how they invest in America, in a volatile economy. You'll wake up and things have changed, and you find yourself with nothing. So find ways to do so. Animal husbandry, it has proven to be a good way of investing. Of course, with all the risks that come with farming, drought, diseases, and things like that. But by and large, those are ways that have saved us, So, hey, kitchen sink family members, I'm inspired. You can do it anywhere, you can do it anyhow, as long as it is legitimate. Let's begin to invest at the levels that we can. Let's begin to invest in areas that we can afford and in ways that we can afford. But invest, we shall. Thank you so much. Only remember that how we invest in the West, how we invest in Europe, how we invest elsewhere is different from how we invest in a difficult economy. But invest we shall. Thank you so much. Good day.